Dang, this phone dirty. Is it charged? Oh. Hey, Susan. We're gonna wait for a few more people to come in, and we're gonna get started. I didn't realize the wind was blowing this much out here. We're gonna get started in a minute talking about this whole Travis Scott uh, situation because it looks like there has been a few updates. We're gonna talk about those. If my YouTube will pop up. What is going on with my phone today? Oh, here it comes. Slow. We're getting these last few nice days here in California. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I think that's what they're saying. So I figured I would come outside today since I didn't feel like going to the park. What is going on? I didn't feel like going to the park, so I said, well, I'll just come out in the backyard and do my video. It's nice. Get some fresh air. Okay, is it working? No. Come on. Okay. So I don't know who else is here, but it is showing that there are people here, but I can't see who's here because they're not talking. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. So this Saturday, I guess, Travis Scott had a show in Texas, and a tragedy occurred there where 8 people were fatally injured, and I guess over 100 or 300 people were not as severely injured. I think they said the majority of them have been released from the hospital. There are still some still in the hospital, but the majority of them have been released. Now, this situation occurred basically, it looks like it was too many people in a small space. And it didn't seem like there was enough medical personnel to handle a situation of that magnitude. It didn't seem like there was enough security personnel to really handle the crowd. And it looks like, you know, they didn't take what was going on serious enough. And it turned out to be a tragedy. Now, something similar to this happened in Ohio, I think in the 70s, where a lot of people were trampled during a concert or like right before the concert started. So it's not like this has never happened before. You know, something similar to this has happened. And I think the deaths were around the same amount. Now, there is a lot of speculation on social media. Oh, let me say this. Let me say rest in peace to all of the victims, and we are sending condolences out to all of the families. I don't want to skip over how tragic this situation is for, these families. I have seen some of the families making videos. They've been interviewed, and it's sad. I really don't like to see when tragedies happen like that. I'm so empathetic that I just don't like to normally see the victims' family speak, because it's just too heart wrenching to see people talk about who their loved ones were. And it's just too sad, because these were very young people, in their 20s, and it was a few teenagers also. Your life is just starting at that point. And I don't want to go into the fact that why are teenagers being allowed to go to shows that are this big. you know you don't want to blame the victims, parents, or anybody, but shows like that, I just would not allow my child to go to, because it's going to be a lot of people. And they said that every show that Travis Scott has done, there have always been mosh pits and rages. People go there specifically to rage. That's what they like to do. Like that's his thing. He has rages and mosh pits, and encourages people to act crazy at his concerts. Like, I didn't really know who I knew who he was. I knew that he is the father of one of the Jenners, Kylie. uh, he is the father of her children, because she's pregnant now, and they have a little girl together already. So I knew who he was, but if somebody asked me like what his music was, I couldn't, tell you not one song. So after this happened, of course, I went and looked at. I'm gonna have to move because this son. Let's scooch over, y'all. Um. Okay, God dog. Um, I knew he was the father. I don't like that angle. Hold on, y'all. I knew he was the father of her children. But I don't know his music like that. And I have no reason to. Like, I'm not into the whole rap music scene. So after this happened, I did go back and look at some of his other concerts, and to get a gauge of how people react at his concerts, what his the demographic is of his concerts. I went and looked at all of that to just kind of get an idea of who he is as a person. And it just looks like he has that aggressive, fiery energy. That's just who he is as a person, you know. And people that have that type of energy tend to draw people to you that have that same type of energy. Like, your energies have to match in order for you to want to meet in this tripod today. Okay. In order for you to want to go to one of his concerts or listen to his music or whatever. So I looked at older concerts, and then I looked at a lot of TikToks of what happened at this concert. And there are tons of them because they said it was over 50,000 people at the concert to begin with. So there are a lot of accounts. There are a lot of people on TikTok making videos, on YouTube making videos. Like there are videos everywhere. Videos of people who have been there, who were there, videos of people who, were hurt, who were trying to assist people. I mean, a lot of younger YouTubers, of course, went to the event specifically to make YouTube videos. So, of course, they have a lot of footage also. So, when I got up this morning, I looked on YouTube, not YouTube, on Instagram, and Travis Scott had issued a statement that he would be paying for the funeral cost of the victims, and he would be paying for mental health, or partnering with a mental health facility to also help people, with mental health issues, because a lot of these younger kids are scarred. They are mentally scarred from this situation because a lot of these children have, and these are children, have never seen death up close like that. A lot of these kids have probably never even been to a funeral. And to see someone next to them pass out or die, or, or lifeless or whatever, was just too much for them. Like I saw an account where one young man said that he fell and people just fell on top of him and he couldn't get up. And he said he was screaming for his friends to help him, help me get up, help me get up. And he just was basically like, my life was flashing before me because I really thought I wasn't going to be able to get up because it was so many people on top of me. Now, there are so many different videos being made about, this was some type of ritual, this was some type of celebrity sacrifice, just, all type of scenarios being presented. Now, the thing about, this being a ritual or a sacrifice, I don't want to get into that part, but I do want to get into the part of energy. When I saw the video, when I saw him, okay, let's go back to the beginning. When I saw the entrance to the show was a big statue of Travis Scott. And the way you came in was through his mouth. The it was a big old head. It was his head, huge. And the kids had to like walk through his mouth to get into the actual show. And I was like, okay, now that's looking strange because it looked like some type of portal that you were entering, some type of portal to get into the show. Now, a lot of people, a lot of the kids that were there described, okay, Bumblebee, please don't come over here. You got all this space. Hold on, y'all. Don't come over here. Come on. Go. God dog it. Um, a lot of the kids, made me mess my hair up. A lot of the young people that were there talked about the show feeling like they were in hell. Because when the show first started, When he rose up on the stage, all of this fire, these flames were going off, and the flames were in columns, four on one side. He rose up in four on the other side. So it was eight columns of flames. So there was fire, there was smoke, there it was dark. The energy was weird. I mean, kids were saying, like, we already had a plan that when we got there, we would open up and create this mosh pit and, go into the raging thing that they do. Is crazy because when I was in my 20s, this was like the first time that I had heard of rages and mosh pits and all of that kind of stuff. Because, I didn't grow up around white people. I didn't have any white friends or anything like that. So, black people, we don't, when we go out to clubs, we too cute to be out here bumping up against each other and raging and throwing ourselves on the ground and stuff. We don't do that. Not the majority of us. Um, So my friend's boyfriend was a security guard, and he was like, "Y'all want to see something?" And me and her was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I'm gonna take y'all to a rage," and I was like, "A rage?" And he was like, "Yes, you." He was like, "I can't even describe this to you. This is something that you have to see for yourself." And that was the first time that I had seen a rage and a mosh pit and just people, teenagers just going crazy is what it looked like to me. And at that time, like, of course it would look crazy now because I'm in my 50s, but I was in my 20s and it looked crazy. You know what I mean? Like, the energy is just so volatile and over the top. It was just, it was crazy. It just looked crazy. So for Travis Scott to enjoy that type of energy and want it at his shows, it says something about who he is as a person. Because when you, yes, a rave party. What did I say? Rage, rave, a rave party. For him to want that type of energy at his shows, it shows who he is as a person. It shows what type of artist he is. He enjoys that chaotic type energy, and it backfired. That energy backfired on him. He was not able to harness and control that energy, and it backfired to the point where people lost their lives. So, people are looking at this situation now. Let me say hi to everybody. Hey, Susan. Hey, tell her like it is. Hey, Sundance Girl. Hey, Tina Tina. Um, okay, hold on, tell her like it is. We're gonna talk about that part too. So he was not, him and his security and the promoters, or whoever put this party together or concert together, were not able to contain that type of energy. When the music started, that beat started. And the kids said, some of the kids said they came there for the mosh pit, for that rave type energy. That rave type energy is a raging energy. So they had already built themselves up to go to a show with other people who are like minded, want to do the rave and go off, and they were not able to harness or control that energy. Kids are too young to control that type of energy. Young children can't control that type of energy. When that aggressive energy comes up in them, they don't know how to harness it and bring it back down. They just let loose, and it turns into chaos like it did in this situation. They were not able to handle themselves. They got so overwhelmed. Like one young man said that, and I can tell he was very mature for his age, even though he looked extremely young. He looked maybe about 18 years old. He said the only thing that was able to keep him from really getting hurt was the fact that he was able to calm himself down and try his best to calm down his friends that were with him. He said he slowed down his breathing. He said because it did get to a point where he felt like he couldn't breathe. It wasn't enough oxygen circulating. And even though this was an outside event, if you have 50,000 people, 50,000 people, they're all packed up against each other like this, the oxygen is still not going to circulate well because, like this young man was saying, there were young ladies in there who were shorter than a lot of the guys. So you got the ladies down here, the girls down here, the guys are up here. They're not getting enough oxygen. Plus, they are being smashed. One young lady said that when they did pull her out, they crowd surfed her out because she was kind of small. She said when she got out, her stomach was bleeding because she had been mashed up against a metal gate, and her stomach was she was bleeding when they got her out. Had they not got her out, she would have been one of the victims because your body can only take so much smashing, compressing, and you're not getting enough oxygen. Once your body does not get enough oxygen, it has no other choice but to shut down. You're going to faint. And if you panic and hyperventilate because you're not receiving enough oxygen, you're going to faint because your body is not getting enough oxygen, so it will just shut down. And that was what was happening with a lot of the people. Like that young nurse said that she fainted. She said she wasn't getting enough oxygen and she knew she wasn't. She was having a hard time breathing and she fainted. And because she was near the security, they were able to get her out of the situation. That was how she ended up helping other people. Now, let's go to this part where they said that one of the security guards said that someone, he was stuck with a needle and they were able to give him Narcan to resuscitate him. Now, I'm pretty sure that all of the victims, a toxicology report is going to be done on every victim that passed away. They're going to see if anyone else had drugs in their system. Now, some of these kids, one young man said, I know it is being said that a lot of this was drug related. He said, but me and my girlfriend were both sober, and I passed out. We didn't even have anything to drink. And I really believe that this needle story is to deflect from the fact that the this event was put on improperly. And I think that they're trying to just blame it on the whole drug. Oh, well, this, it was drugs. No, these kids were smashed and trampled. They didn't have enough oxygen. The event was put on improperly even before my phone rang. Even before Travis came out to perform, the kids had ran over the security area. They had to call the police in to stop a stampede at the gate because they had trampled the gate to come in. So the event started bad and ended worse. It was just a horrible situation all the way around. Just horrible. It was horribly put on. They didn't have enough medical personnel there for anything. They didn't have enough security or trained security. A lot of these events that have and need security, these people are not real security guards. They're just people that, want to work at an event, and they just give them a jacket, a little vest that say security, and you work the gate, you do this, you do that, and that's it. Like they're not really trained in um, security work. I mean, it's very. Oh, hey, Yardy, we haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, they were stepping on people. They were trampling each other to get into the event. People were getting trampled going through the metal detectors. They tore the metal detectors down and just trampled through security. That was even before the show started. So it started off bad and it ended even worse. But I'm enjoying these videos that people are making about hell and about this whole because people love. Why are young people so enamored with Illuminati? Like, why is Illuminati so ingrained in their spirit? Like, everything that happens is the Illuminati or it's demonic. Now, I'm gonna give you my what I really think about Travis Scott. I really believe that Travis Scott has a lot of Shango fiery energy. A lot. I really believe he's a child of Shango who has not learned yet how to control and harness his energy. Because I've seen him on stage, seems to be an egomaniac. He seems to be very extremely narcissistic because he was putting a cameraman off the stage one time, and the cameraman was trying to tell him, I'm doing this for BET. And he was like, well, this ain't BET show. This Travis Scott show. And I'm going to tell you, get off my stage. And, all this just real fiery, aggressive type Shango energy all this fire around him and, using fire in the show. Like, people don't realize that if you don't understand how to harness fire energy, it will go off. That's why in uh if you read about shamans and spiritual leaders back in the day, only certain people were allowed to use fire energy. Only the people who had the strength to really harness that energy, who understood and respected fire energy, were allowed to use fire in certain ways. Of course, they could use fire to cook and everything, but fire is something that you have to respect. If you don't respect fire, it can do so much damage. So much damage. And I see that a lot here in California. Every year we have wildfires because people don't respect that fire energy. I am one person that has always been afraid of fire. Fire is not my thing. Fire is not something that, I myself choose to work with because I have a natural fear of. And some people, and my fear is also respect. And some people don't have a respect for these real natural elements. This is why a lot of people drown, because they don't respect the water. They don't understand how deep the water is. They have no respect for the water, and they go in it thinking that they are bigger than the ocean, and the ocean will swallow you up. It don't take much for us as humans to drown. And if we don't respect the water, it can take us away. Just like fire. You don't respect that energy, that burning, consuming energy, it can hurt you. And I think that's part of Travis Scott's problem. He has not learned how to control his energy yet. And he just out here wilding out just like the rest of these little young kids. He has been given a platform. These kids love him. And it's not just black kids, a lot of, white, Hispanic. I saw all types of races or ethnicities at um, the concert. It was as many Caucasian as it was black. But see, one thing about us, like I did see a sister girl in the crowd and she was doing her little videos. We don't like for people to be bumping up against us and pushing us and stuff. Honey, sister girl was like, get off me. she, she was so aggressive. But I bet you she survived. Because she was like, get off me, stop pushing me. You know, we don't like to be pushed and pulling our hair and, bumping up against each other and all that kind of stuff. We ain't for all that. All that rave type energy, that's not us. That is not us. I didn't see not one black person, and I'm pretty sure it was, probably some in the mosh pit, but I didn't see not one black person talking about, oh yeah, I was waiting to get in the mosh pit and throw myself on the ground and all that. I didn't see none saying that. Now I saw a lot of white kids saying that, that's what they went there for. They went there for the rave type in the mosh pit and the throwing themselves around and all of that kind of stuff because, and then I saw some uh, young boys who had posted before and after pictures of their tennis shoes. And black kids ain't gonna go to no show like that wearing no Jordans and walk in the place looking all fresh and everything and leave looking like they done rolled in the mud. We not in that. That's not us. We don't. We not gonna be out here getting dirty and messing up our shoes and stuff at no concert. Stepping on people and everything. So Sundance Girl said that portal sounds strange. It looked strange. It looked weird. It was like, let me see if I can find it. One thing I hate is the fact that, um, let me see if I can find what it looks like. Because it looked weird. Y'all, I think it is going to rain. Because, um, now see, this is what I was talking about. The four columns of flames. Look at that. Look at that. You can't just unleash that type of fire energy and not understand that it's not going to be aggressive. The show was aggressive, fiery energy that they just didn't know how to harness. They didn't know how to control it. And it just got out of hand. 50,000 screaming teenagers. There was no way to harness that much energy. Okay, here it is, but you probably can't really see it that well. Oh, here's a good picture. This was how they had to get in. Can y'all see that? Through his mouth. Through his mouth. Let me tell my husband that the Instacart people are here because I'm pretty sure that's who calling. Yeah, after I tell the people to just leave it at the gate, what's my husband's phone number, y'all? Oh, here it is.
Scared the hell out of me.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I think the Instacart people are here.
Okay, I'll go
Oh,
and check.
okay, bye.
Bye.
Um, did you guys see it? Yeah, they ringing the doorbell now. God damn! I told you to leave it at the gate. Did y'all see it? Cause the phone rang. Thank you. Tell her like it is. She said, Google Astro World and look at the images. Yes, Google it. It's a whole lot of images, but to walk through the mouth looked like some type of portal, and then you get in and all of this fire and smoke. And I didn't look at any of his other concerts to see if he used fire at the other concerts, but that was interesting to me. That was very there was a lot of symbols in that. Four on one side, four on the other side. Eight is Shango's number. Shango is the deity of fire. That type of aggressive energy is definitely Shango. Definitely. I'm going in and out now. Hold on, y'all. Well, for one, the wind is blowing. Is it still going in and out? I need somebody else to tell me. Is it going in and out for you too? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. Because I can't see your... Oh, okay. Lola 420 said it's good. Okay, they say it's working. Um, if you get into numerology, you see numbers in things. You see symbols in things. You see characteristics in people. And when I went and looked at some of his other videos, I said, oh, okay. So this looks like a child of Shango who just doesn't quite know how to handle himself yet. A lot of Shango energy. And if you don't know how to harness that energy, he is in a situation where people look up to him. You know what I mean? He is a celebrity. He has kids. Basically, it looked like they were basically worshiping him. And
How much milk do we need?
how much what?
How much milk do we need?
I didn't order no milk. The only thing I ordered was rice and a chicken.
She got this really wrong.
Did she?
Yeah. You got the wrong order.
I only had 2 things on my order.
You got the wrong order.
Lord, let me call y'all back, girl. She didn't gave us the wrong Instacart order. Stay there. I'm going to come right back because I got to contact Instacart on this phone. Okay, I'm going to come right back, y'all. Hang up and I'm going to come back.